Today we're going to be talking about the Minecraft DBZ realm. Getting a lot of questions on that. A lot of people questioning things about it and stuff like that. So, today we are going to be going over all of that. As you can see in the description, why it is called the DBZ realm. Dragon Ball Z. Why? Because Dragon Ball Z is the best show ever. So, this realm started a few years ago. I think right after the whole Caves and Cliffs update. So I think that was the goal with this server, trying to get a new cave world. Which we spawn in a... Actually, I think the spawn is Dark Oak Forest next to a lush cave. Because someone has their house built out of that cave. Spawn is also next to a mansion. I'll make a video later on about Spawn. Going over Spawn in Mushroom Island. My brother, the owner of the realm, lives on a Mushroom Island. So, this is my base, the bunker. When starting the realm, first thing I did was made a boat and voyaged out, found a new area. I just went straight from down there, from south more of towards, up here north, down through the ocean until I came across this bit of land. One of the first major builds too was this lighthouse. And I think that tower was another one that we added a little while later. I recently made it to be a happy gas dock. That was going to be a library for the village we made. We made a village over here a while ago. We started to, as you can see, the roofs never got finished. But there's more buildings. They've recently got destroyed to remake a church, what we're making over there. But we destroyed all the little houses for the resources, but all the villagers turned to zombies from a drown or something. And we were able to keep a few secure hidden down here. Including our mending villager for 1 emerald. So I have a village inside of my bunker, and this is actually how I started. I grabbed some villagers from this village over here, and I brought them all the way to my bunker. So inside this mountain is actually my brother Josh's base. So he has a little base up here, a little entrance down there. If you come all the way up here, especially if you go towards this back end, you can see he carved out a whole mountain. And once you go in, you'll actually see what he did. He made a whole base inside of this mountain up here. And guys, this is all a 100% survival Minecraft world. We are playing on a realm. Now, if you notice, there's a small black building. I'll show you that in a second. It's actually his building. It's a little shop he made. Kind of really just there for anyone needing supplies and gear. And there's more if you go down that. So this building right here, this is one of his little shops he made. Bro. Basically just helping out supplies and gear. So this is also a reason we've flourished so far on the realm. We have a lot of help and it's a very good community. Everyone's helping out and giving supplies that's needed to anyone that needs them. So getting far into the realm isn't too hard. Usually people are out here helping a lot. So in his base he has a village that has villagers selling diamond armor. That's why he has so much diamond armor. As you can see, we get stuff really cheap. That rail system you saw up on the top of the mountain, and this goes to his little small base with the pumpkins near the Minecraft sign. This is another one of his little rooms he has with his storage. So in the process of me making my bunker, I had a lot of stone left over, and another one of my brothers took all that stone, and he made this giant wall up here, where he has started to build a base. So I haven't built, I mean I built quite a bit actually. I built the Minecraft sign, lighthouse, the portal spawn, this stuff right here, as a dock and 4-star Dragon Ball, and Pokeball. I built the library, the gold cross, the water tower. I helped with that tower. Um, the ISR and I built that one, my base, and the YouTube sign. This is another player's base up in here. We've got gardens. I think below is more gardens. Yeah. Just goes to more gardens. Seems like he started working on this floor. This is one of the newest players on the realm right here. And this player is pretty new. That's another person's base over here with the giant factory and their small little base with the lava tower. This player right here, let me put this into perspective. This is their first house. This was their first house right here. And they have actually improved it a lot. It was come a long way. This was the old storage room. They relocated that. If I'm correct, if you go down right down here, you'll actually see it. Oh, yeah, this is way different since the last time I've been down it. He's always building and adding stuff. As you can see, his building has stepped up. Since his first base, he's gotten quite better at building. So, somewhere, I don't know his base too well. Over here, he just added this on. I thought it was cool. This wraparound in this water over here. How he cut out like the area and made the glass. I thought that was a pretty cool add-on. I liked it. He was talking about blocking this off and putting in the Nautilus mob, breeding some of those in there. Blocked off some of the pathways. He's gonna make a dungeon somewhere. I don't know whatever happened to that. As you can see, he is getting a lot better at building. Oh, and there's more down too below. If you go down there, he has caves and spawners and an underground like little castle he made. I'll go over that later. But this is his first base right here. That was his second. The castle turned out pretty. Oh, he built a dungeon under that. Started building other things around it. And then recently he's been building this pirate ship. I think it turned out amazing. I haven't actually been in here. I was watching him one day and he was just starting this off right down here. I looked back later on. He had that thing finished. First house, couple months ago, he was building that. This is our new player. Very new to Minecraft too. Just joined. He's been figuring out pretty quick. He's seen a lot of videos, so he understands. Build some cool bridges. He had this base going and then started building this and has been adding on to it ever since. Kept coming out amazing. I like the water fountain in the middle. It's a nice touch. He built this castle with the mines going below it. I love that flooring. The giant pit right below it, going down to the caves. He started and leveled out this whole island. Made it for a nice building area. But it's nice, like a little castle with almost like a little courtyard area to it. I think it turned out pretty good. He started to build a boat because he built a cool boat over there. So his underground base, he has a ladder too, but I usually just fly in. He has a whole walkway to the thing. Should have some mob spawners down here. Oh, here we go. Zombie spawner. And if I'm correct, I thought there was a skeleton one somewhere. Feet from zombie farm, half mile from skeleton farm, from bone farm. Okay. The mines. I'll show you his dungeons too. He's got a little dungeon set up below his base. And then I'll show you my base and all the in and outs of it. Alright, I think I can actually go this way. I don't know his base too well. Oh, I think this is the way to the dungeons. Yeah, he built some dungeons down here. And he had like little... This is that same base you saw earlier. That I was saying his first base. This is what he's building now. This is all his builds. And that was space right there a couple months ago. Just a little bit of practice is all you need. I've got some smaller bases along the side. That was a little beehive I made. One of my brother, that brother up there, that was one of his older bases he made. Just a tiny little watchtower. With a little basement. You can make a little like bar kind of room with a villager. This is a man-made swamp and all that. This was a giant forest. I mean, this was a giant field when I came here. We grew all the trees and all that. Made all the trees around here because trees were all the way back there. My base was just a hole in the ground. This is one of my first projects my brother Jeremy tried to do. Was this. You can see kind of cut off it. But it actually leads to a cave. And there's a hole. There's a giant hole that he was going to make into it or something. And he's going to make glass, and he decided not to. But that cave actually I can view in from my base. So, my base started with a tiny little hole, like any base, until I built a cobblestone base. That's actually what these border, the actual old cobblestone base. It was just right here, a little cobblestone room. Then I added another floor, and another floor eventually. This was the original room I had. This room has changed over the years from being an enchantment room to a beehive to all sorts of things, and it was a treasury room at one point just for storing shit, and now it's the beacon room. This is a good look at the map and what we've explored. We've tried to confine our exploration and not try to go out too far, because if you voyage too far and you get in too far a render distance, when new updates come out, you have to travel really far. And we came across this problem on our last realm, where we voyaged out and made a huge map, and then updates were steady coming out, and we had to travel so far to find something. Like the nether updates came out, and it was almost impossible to find the new nether biomes. You travel so far for us. But this is our area. We have spawn down here, the dark oak forest. We have a woodland mansion right next to spawn. We got a mushroom island down here. That's my brother Roy's base. That's the owner of the realm. We got other stuff up here. I think this is a base I built a long time ago that I never used. Same with that marker up there. That's a base I built a long time ago. That's where that marker is our pillage outpost. We got the desert end portal. And then up above that little right there, that's our base. Well, my base up here with all the markers for all the other bases up here. And my brother Roy, since he is more south, he has a lot more maps going towards south region. As you can see, I voyage more north. So originally I just extended out this base and put in giant, almost walls around my base and made it bigger and closed it in. And then added all the diamond, emerald, gold, and iron trim. I made a little aquarium next to it. So when we get into the bunker, we get into the base, we have actually this. This was the original storage room. This helped me build the bunker. As you can see, I took out a lot of the storage, and it's now in the storage for the bunker. We do have a lava chicken farm. Basic lava farms and stuff. I really haven't upgraded this much. This was a lot of early game base right here. It's just a simple lava farm and stuff. All our mines and stuff going with XP farms. I have a skeleton spawner down there. Actually, 2 skeleton spawners and a zombie spawner. So we get into the bunker. So when that player with the ship and the castle and all that started join the server, that's when I started building this bunker actually. While they were joining and doing all their own things and figuring out the game, I started actually carving out this bunker and building it. All the stone went towards building my brother's wall. As you can see, I've got some mobs in here, armadillos. These guys. Sniffers. Slime. The slime wasn't that hard to get. There's actually a hole, like, somewhere over here. Yeah. And, because I could hear them through the walls. And I had to, like, go down somewhere. I was mining everywhere to get to them. It was, like, down there or something. I blocked it off and put lights in everywhere. And I was just killing the slime, and I was like, you know, I can keep those two little slimes. So I pulled them up here, quickly built a room for them, and threw them in there. We've got the storage room. This is that cave I was talking about. So back there somewhere, there'll actually be like an opening above the ground for my brother carving a hole out that he filled in. So when building this, I was going to block off this cave originally, and I decided not to because I really thought it would come out good. And honestly, I do like the decision because I feel like this a little cut out. So another thing with this, I found out afterwards. See a skeleton? So mobs will just spawn right here. And like decent amount of mobs will just spawn right there. So if I sit here, mobs will sit there and start spawning in. And then I put a fire pit down there to kill them and collect the loot. So I've gotten a bunch of like loot just from sitting here. Especially gunpowder. So another thing is, that's one of the things about the 5K day mark. It's a realm with a lot of players on and off all the time. And yeah, there's probably been like 500 days since I've played. And a lot of players are AFKing at XP spawner or mob spawners for XP farms. And I have stuff like this where I have like a simple farm. So this simple farm, I've made a little AFK room, is actually how I have mobs in my base. So when we go all the way down here, you can see we get some loot from this and decent bit of stuff. So I set up a whole water channel with this thing and little aqueducts, and so I'd block it off and the mobs would spawn in, and I'd wait for the mob I'd want, and I'd have it spawn in, and then it would go down this trail, and it is a water system that I carved out and built. Goes all the way around through this whole setup underneath all of my base. Until you get to a point over here. I didn't really know how to continue this. I don't watch YouTube videos and stuff, I just kind of figure it out. Where I kind of made like a little spot where they would walk into this bubble column. They'd get launched up. And then once they get launched up, it actually bring them to another area. Up here somewhere. I don't remember. Oh, right there. Bring them to another area up there. We get them launched up. Bringing them up into my base area. At least into a point where I can move them again to somewhere I need them. So stuff like the armory and stuff like that was mainly built due to the fact of like XP spawners and stuff. Because, or sorry, mob spawners. Because when we're XP farming and just getting a random amount of, excessive amount of armor that we're not going to use, I just built a giant armory to store it all. Because why not? So we got the water tunnel leading out of the base. Then back here I actually built a whole thing for all the records. And I had a whole jukebox shuffling all the records, but I turned that off a little while ago. So it's supposed to be like almost like a tool room with all the little workbenches and stuff like that, basically. And crystal. You got a snowman in here. Nether portal room. Zombie pigman. I think that was truly just I made him with the lightning. I think I just got a pig from my farm and put him in there. And that guy was there. That zombie spawned in that wall, in that gap, and I just put the bars there. I'm not even joking. I heard a zombie in the wall and I broke it and he was there and I just gave him a name tag, put the bars down. I've recently built this village right here. You saw that trail leading off to it. As you can see me from hunting villagers. But we made this farm recently that I did all the work. The new guy on the building that little castle with the little fountain. He's been upgrading them because he needs emeralds and stuff. I find a nice village is really good for a strong start. At spawn, we have a lot of villagers selling a lot of things. This one was made to be a paper one. I wanted to sell a lot of paper and I wanted to get a lot of enchantments. The tunnels you saw leading from that other village go down, turn, all the way down. Huge system, that's how I got all these villagers down here. This leads back towards the water tower that you see in the sky. And this is actually my mines right here. I have a turtle farm back here. This is where we get turtle eggs and shells. We have a paper farm to sell to librarians. Use a skeleton farm to get bones to make bone meal to grow sugarcane. So I made a little brewing room for potions. And to store a lot of potions and stuff and supplies. We have the nether wart down here and a witch. That's the cook right here. Got a little aquarium in the middle. So, because I wanted these to be actually like efficient with growing crops, and just cause, I actually put water behind everything. All the blocks are next to water if you actually look at that. But we got the little garden area. We got the turtle enclosure. The axolotl. Got the little farm with livestock and stuff. We have a frog in there. There he is. Got pigs and chickens. So, how we got the livestock in here. Giant pit. We just made a pit. Dropped them in. Brought them to every cage they were going to go to. I was going to put a goat in here. Made this little room for a goat. You saw this goat tied up on the mountaintop. That's what's going to go in there. Another little small view of the world. Where the base is. Little armor stands and armor trim display. Heart of the sea. So over here we have a drown, a zombie, and a baby zombie. A zombie head. The drown was an accident with trying to move the zombie through the water system and all that. And I was like, whatever. And I got a regular zombie. And then I saw the baby zombie drop in, and I had the option to get it, so I was really happy about the baby zombie. We got a skeleton horse and a stray in there. And then over here we have 2 charged creepers. Now, how I got these in here is I used a water system to push them in here. And then I cut a hole in the ceiling with the copper rod, lightning rod, and just used channeling to get them to become charged creepers. I was going to put a fox in here, but actually in the process of me taming a fox and about to grab the fox, a lightning storm happened. So I ran back to my base to activate these guys, and I have not gotten a fox since. The water systems for everything. So the water system to move that witch down there. Probably stopped right here to move it to the zombies. Oh no, the zombies had another tower that pushed it higher up. Or something. And then this way went towards the creepers to move the creepers in there. So that's how we get the mobs in there. Just use those water systems that came out from that cave all the way over there. And the water systems moved it all down, lifted it all up, and brought them in here. So inside the bedroom, we have some stuff. A lot of this was made earlier on when it was more valuable, and or should I say my earlier collections of stuff that I kind of moved down here and actually made like a display for. I've gotten a lot more golden apples since I started doing the trial chambers. Um, so a lot of people talk about the 2 Ender Dragon eggs. So for the 2 Ender Dragon eggs, they're if you're on a realm on Minecraft Bedrock Edition realms, spawn in 2 dragon eggs. If you fight the dragon, then reincarnate it, the second time will spawn in a dragon egg. Um, I don't know how I managed to be able to be the one to get 2 dragon eggs, but I do, and the owner hasn't been too caring about it. They don't really care, so I put in my base because I like the look of that. I had one, and I fought the dragon again, and it actually gave me the second one. I was like, no way, no one took this. So in here we had a room for the creaking mob, which I'm gonna have to relocate this room or something. Um, I deactivate it. If I put that heart right there, it'll activate it. I gave it a name tag so it wouldn't despawn at daytime, and it would kind of just be in there, but it kept glitching or something, and then it would no longer have its name tag because it would despawn, and it would respawn in this bedroom over here, or in this back room or something. But we got the Ender Pearl a stasis chamber. So they don't work as good as the Java edition ones, but simple enough. You flip a switch. I need another player to flip the switch is the only problem because they don't work as good as Java ones. So I get an Ender Pearl, I look at it just like that, and I throw it right there, and hopefully it would bounce in the water. I could be a million blocks away, and I just need another player to go into my base and flip that switch. It will then allow me to teleport back to my base. Back here we have the armory, the real armory. These were going to be made to Ninja Turtle like looks with the headbands. I never got around to that because it was going to cost me trims and stuff like that. And after making all this, I did not care for that. I'm going to replace those with something else. But this was the little supply room for storage and armor. I had a bunch of extra supplies and I really wanted to use it and make something out of it. And have easily accessible supplies available. A lot of these aren't really upgraded, nothing's really enchanted, so if it is, it has like mending and breaking. So these were my mines that went down. This is like the first mine tunnel I made. Honestly, landed on a pretty good path. So down here we have the XP farms with a skeleton spawner in here. Just go over and just cover those blocks up. And then you just sit there. And when you're done, you go down here. You kill all the skeletons, get the supplies, clean all that out. So these are our mines, the strip mines for diamonds. These things go far. Like one of these goes for so long. Like you can see it blocks off right here, but it continues around and it still just keeps going for so long. One of them, it takes like a couple minutes just to walk down the whole thing. And this is how we have a lot of diamonds. A lot of this was deep slate mining for that tower. For the Happy Gas little dock tower that we made a long time ago. So many mines, so many directions. That isn't a lush cave. I just got bored with some moss and started making that into a moss cave with the moss and bone meal. So in here I made a skeleton like arena where you'd kind of break all the torches and then you'd be down here. I was gonna put water and stuff so the skeletons would get pulled in and you'd kind of just be down here fighting skeletons and mobs. But they added the trial chambers, so that's kind of made a nice new fighting arena. This is the zombie farm. Turned into a drown farm. I'll make another video going over spawn location, the Mushroom Island. I'll go over the end portal and the pyramid. This video we kind of covered a lot of this area. If you have any questions about this world, comment them down below. But like I was saying, this world has been going for a few years now. It's not an overnight project that happened. I mean, my base was a cobblestone little shack for so long. Until I recently made it a lot better. I say a little bit better, but I started putting trees around the library and never finished. Alright, well that's all for today. If you want to see anything else of the video, of the server that you didn't see in the video,